go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hi, YouTube. How are you? I'm good. I'm doing good too, Mahogany. Thank you for asking. Hi, YouTube. How are you? How is everyone doing this morning? June 23rd. Hi, Jess. Oh, hi. June 23rd. Hi, Choice. Hello, sweetie. How are you? I sent your candles out yesterday, so expect them. Okay? It's quiet today. Oh, accept the quiet. We don't know what, where, how, when, but when you get a good quiet day, embrace it. Hi, Mo Jackson. Hi. You know what was weird yesterday for me? Because I measure everything, right? There's not a thing that my antennas aren't picking up on. The parking lot was not packed yesterday, and that was uncomfortable for me. My bedroom faces the parking lot for everyone that lives down here. There are like 5-6 spots available yesterday, and normally these people cannot find parking. So I was like, what's that about? I look at everything and I don't trust anything. And I always talk to God, and I'm like, why are there parking spots available? Maybe God is getting ready to get me a car, and he's teaching people to get out the way. I don't know. I'm just saying. There is not enough room for one more car on the bottom level. I already know it. This place is packed. And so the good part is that I'm home and they all go to work. So during the day, all the cars are gone except for one mature woman over here. One. So I will park when they're all gone, and I won't move my car. And I'll use my car when they're all at work. And I'll come back before they all get home. They all get home about 5 o'clock. Between 5 and 6, they start to come home. That's their rush hour. I'll be home way before them. I will always have a parking spot. Don't mess with me, people. Don't mess with me. In my head, I'm having this argument with a car I don't have yet. Good health, AB. How are you? Choice, I'm doing well. I so understand that to me. No, that's because you must have some metaphysical inside of you, child. If you notice everything, listen to pre-gaming. I hear you, sis. What's pre-gaming? I don't know what that is. Is that sports? Guys, I have to invest in a new phone. And I know they're giving away phones, but it's still going to cost me $250 to get the damn phone shipped here. I have to get a new phone. Verizon is purposely messing up my phone. So I call them and go, I'm having a bad phone, and I need, and then there's some other trick to the phone. They're like, you can have a new phone as long as the battery, like the battery can't be free from heat. But I think I might have an issue with my battery, because my phone heats up now and it never used to. I don't care. They're going to be like, how's the battery? Oh, raped. I never. Does your phone heat up? Never. I will bold-face lie. Thou shalt not lie. I will bold-face lie. You never had problems with the phone? Never. I mean, it's cracked in the front, but I don't have problems with my phone. Nope. Nope. But they got something, oh, we'll replace the phone as long as your battery. And I've had problems with batteries before because I'm a metaphysical person, right? Metaphysical people will have a problem with electronics, always. You know, once I worked at a job, right? I was parking enforcement, right? And I was terrible at it. Terrible. There was a time when, you know, they wanted us to get 35 secrets. I'll tell you the secrets. I'll tell you. They have a quota. And there were 7 of us during the day. And they wanted us to get 35 tickets in a small Pasadena town. That was their bread and butter. We gave the tickets to truckers, knowing damn well there was no place for them to put their trucks. So they would have to park it in the middle of the road, but it's illegal. You take that machine and then they see you coming out with their little dolly, and they're all like this high, right? They're tiny men, the truckers, right? And they come out and they start cursing at you. The fuck, you bitch. That was my favorite part, when they call me a bitch, because I'm like, I got this thing about people calling me a bitch. It makes me go crazy, and I'd be like, what are you doing? You bitch. Sometimes you fucking bitch. Fucking bitch. And I'd be like, and then I would issue 2 tickets. One would be fake and the other one would be legitimate. But I would issue 2 tickets. You explain to your boss why you got 2 tickets, dude. Don't call me a bitch. One time I gave out 3 tickets to a trucker. And then I handed it to him and he ripped it up in my face. But it doesn't matter. The computer records everything. You plug that computer up and it goes like my face. No information is ever lost. Wait, Kay, what are you saying? Would you consider a truck that sold candles by the beach so you're covered by the sun and get the car that you wanted? A truck? I don't understand what a truck is. What do you mean by that? I don't know if Magic Mermaid, Mystic Rain sent me a portable canopy that's way cute. And I think that is something I need to invest in, a portable canopy. Thank you, Tanisha. Thank you. Girl, if I tell you I had no sleep last night, none. I mean, when I finally caught sleep, no, get the fuck out of here. Oh, have mercy. Cancel. When I finally caught sleep, I'm going to have to get rid of Instagram because it wants to block people. Instagram, I'm going to have to get rid of you. Ugh, so annoying. Come over to YouTube. Oh, well, Instagram is gone. Because the phone just starts moving on its own. It's trying to block people. It's so funny. Good health. I'm late. What I missed? Nothing much. I was just telling how I used to work as parking enforcement. And they want you to get 35 tickets a day. And there were 7 people working. And I just figured the only way you can get 35 tickets a day is to make up tickets. You just had to make, I just made up tickets. I met my quota. You said make a quota. You didn't say they had to be legitimate tickets. You told me how to get legitimate tickets, but making my quota and getting legitimate tickets don't compute. It's a near impossibility. Plus, I'm a chunky parking enforcement. You know, my thighs are rubbing together. I can't move fast. And they tried to put me on a bike. And then I fell, but I fell on purpose. Like everybody goes on a bike. How? In my age bracket? No. To be honest with you, I should have gotten on a bike. I would have lost a lot of weight. But no, I'm too stubborn and too busy lying on my job. And so I issued thousands of fake tickets, thousands. And then the judicial system got involved. And they said, they figured out that I was making fake tickets. And I denied it. They said, are you, they go, Miss Brown, we know you are making fake tickets. And I said, I'm not. And I'm appalled that you would think that. It's not right. People used to come to the courthouse. And I was making fake tickets. I didn't know they were real tickets to cars. Like, what are the odds to fake tickets? You have to, if I remember, it's with the make and model of the car. I'm issuing fake tickets and matching them up to people in other parts of California. What are the odds? So when the tickets aren't paid, right? The minute you don't pay the ticket, they double it. But when they double it, they go to your address and they're like, listen, you had an opportunity to pay this. You didn't pay it. Now it's double. And these people would be 100 miles away. I'm not kidding you. And they would walk into the court and they were like, I was never here. And it was too many of them because I was hundreds, thousands of tickets. Fake, all fake. I just wanted a paycheck. I didn't want to work. I don't understand this quota business. So then they accuse me, and you can't just accuse me of something. It's wrong. Oh, we know. Miss Brown, we know. Like I'm in a police interrogation. And I was like, I never did that. I would never do that. And I stuck to my grounds. And they kept me. People fire me. Nope, not these people. They kept me. And then they followed me. They followed me doing my job. And then they found out I don't work. And then the other people that worked with me, my coworkers, they loved me so much. They were like, Miss Brown, they're following you. And I was like, what? They're following you. Got it. Now I'm giving legitimate tickets. I'm walking slow. Everybody else is on bike. They had me walking now. I couldn't even be in a car. I'm walking slow. I'm not like, now I'm really not working. You gonna follow me? Really? All right. And then I fell because they had me walking. So there was a hole in the ground, but the grass had grew over the hole, and I fell, right? And I come back to work, and I announced it. I said, I fell because you asked, and they knew I wasn't lying because they were following me. They had record, pictures, everything, surveillance on me. Could I have gone to jail? Doesn't really matter. I don't care. God always covered me. With lies and all, God covered me. And so I fall. I go at the end of the day with now I can't get any tickets, right? 5 tops. And they already know it. They know that I know, but they don't know that I know. So now I'm only coming with 5 tickets because I was told that they're following me. Oh my God. I fall, and so I announced it. And they said, are you okay? And I said, I do believe I'm okay. I go home, all the pain comes, right? I go the next day, and I said, I'm not okay. I need to be seen by a doctor. So they took me to their health works or some bullshit. Cedric, you guys know insurance. It was Cedric and their medical system, which is fucked up because those doctors will tell you you're fine. You could have a lump here, and they'll be like, you're fine. Go back to work, right? So I get checked out. As always, they're like, you're fine. Go back to work. I think they gave me some pain meds, blah, 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 blah. And then I did go back to work. But now I'm injured. So now they can't afford to keep me, right? And then the coworkers, they love me. And then they go, Miss Brown, don't come to work tomorrow. They're going to fire you. And I was like, what? I was like, bet, thank you. I went back to the healthcare place that they sent me. I went back to the healthcare, and I told the doctor all my aches and pains. I was trying to work through it, but now I got to be honest, and I have to be like, this is bothering me, that's bothering me, et cetera, et cetera. I can't walk, da-da-da, boom, 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 boom. So they put me out for a couple of days. So I called them. They were supposed to fire me the next day. I went to the healthcare place. I called them, and I said, I need to file for workman's comp. I can't come in for the next 3 days, and I am filing for workman's comp before they had a chance to fire me. And I did. I filed for workman's comp, and they never fired me. I didn't go back to them, right? But I enjoyed workman's comp. They send you to physical therapy, and they manipulate your body. I have this thing about being touched, and then I got acupuncture, and then I got the suction machine. Do you guys know about the suction machine? It was nice. The suction machine that they put on your back, and you had to see the doctor 3 times a week. It was beautiful, and I was getting paid to be sick. I'll teach you. You got questions? I'll teach you. Skin that cat. Mm-hmm. And then the doctor that I used to see, literally, he would say, I would go see him. I would see him once a week, but physical therapy was twice a week at the same place. And I'd go see him, and he would go, you're not sick. He goes, you're not sick. And I go like this. And he would go, you're not sick. And then he would go, come see me next week. I guess in some way he was trying to alleviate his crookedness too. If I'm not sick, why are you bringing me back for months at a time, once a week, right? Every week we went through this. You're not sick. Then he goes, come back and see me next week. Then, because I'm an honest person, very honest, it was time to settle. And I did have a lawyer. And they're the ones that sent me to the crooked doctor that kept telling me I wasn't sick. What's going on? And when it was time to settle, I didn't settle. I knew that if I accepted that money, it could come back to haunt me. It was never going to be about the money, ever. And I knew that if I accepted that workman's comp money, it would always come back to haunt me. So I went to the lawyers and I said, I refuse to accept this money. And they said, it's yours. We've already settled the case. And I said, that money will never touch my hands. And so I was released from the case without prejudice, meaning I was exonerated of any responsibility or whatever. Still shows in the books to this day. I have a court case that is released without prejudice. I don't know what happened to the money. Maybe the lawyers kept it. I don't know. I did not accept a dime. It was never going to be about the money. It was about a bunch of people that was forcing me to get 35 tickets. Unacceptable behavior. And you tried to fire me. You try to fire me, I'll get you back. I don't know why I tell you guys all these stories. AB goes, I love how Dory plays the system. System got to be played. They made it up. They made up the rules. Don't get mad at me because nope. Yep. If I tell you guys, I really need to write this stuff down. I really need to document. This is I'm documenting here. Thank you. No, it's always a lesson. Let me tell you something. They always let certain people get away with this type of stuff. If you won't let her get away with shit, why can't I? I just figured out if there are rules to be broken and you let her break the rules, why can't I? Mm-hmm. I'll teach you how to lie straight face. Straight face. Were you sick yesterday? Mm-hmm, I was. Somebody said they saw you in Disneyland. Oh, really? No. And then I'm pouring it on. Oh, yeah, I'm faking coughing. Thank you. He believes me. See? I would do that to my boss in her face. They get me out that room quick. Oh, yes. I'll do it. Yep. Now she can't even write me up because she thinks I don't put germs all over her room and her face. Yep. Straight face. AB goes, hit the like button. You gotta like these stories. And get away with it every time. Sometimes I would walk out of the room and I'd be like, God, you just be planting miracles. It's the dumbest stuff. And God is like, child, please. They ain't getting you. Like, I know, right, God? They ain't getting me. I always thought my luck would run out eventually. I'm like, you play too much. Your luck going to run out. But it never ran out. Listen. So, I spoke to a cousin last night, a male cousin of mine who I adore. I adore this cousin, and it's my favorite cousin's child. So his mom and I would be plus or minus a year or two in the same age bracket. And we her and I were born in the same pot in heaven. Like, her and I knew each other. The difference between her and I is that she was nice. And I wasn't necessarily, because I was really good at lying, right? I don't think this woman ever lied. I don't think she was a saint. When you have somebody in your family that has the best soul ever, and you want to be like that soul, like you're standing next to her and you're like, I want your soul. Like, you're so nice. Whereas I had survival skills, which meant I had to lie a lot, right? She never lied. I mean, her soul was so good, and she passed away early. And I believe she passed away early because she didn't have the fight inside of her, right? I feel like she was afraid to fight. She was definitely abused by her mother. And then he gave some of the stories he added to it. And I was like, oh my God. So, family secrets is tomorrow's topic. And how do we magically combat family secrets? How do you stay safe when your memory is carrying family secrets? How do you stay safe when there are people in your family that are still alive that house family secrets? So, that's the topic for tomorrow. Family secrets. Come join me. Red roses are like, ooh, good topic. Thank you, sweetie. And the reason why I'm choosing the family secrets is because I wrote a letter to my family for the secrets that I knew and secrets that happened to me. And I came from a family that something happened to me and I was the bad guy. It happened to me. And you all made me the bad guy because I had the same innocence as my cousin Rose. I had the same innocence. But the difference is when I realized I was being the victim and the victim again, I was like, oh my God. And I didn't understand the dynamic of secrets. I also didn't understand the dynamic of sexual secrets. There's so much power in sexual secrets, right? And I didn't understand, and when I mean sexual secrets, I mean, who's your daddy? Who's like, what? Who is my daddy? When you start to question and you start to look at people and you're like, there's no way you two had the same, no way you two had the same father. No fucking way. Yeah. So we conjured up all of these secrets last night because he's much younger than me, right? He's in his 30s. He's my son's age. But 430, he's lived a heavy life. 430-ish, he's lived a heavy life. And his mom is not here. And for some reason, guys, I don't know what it is. If you ain't got a mom, you will attach yourself to me. If you literally do not have a mom, and if you literally have the worst relationship with your mom, I'm the magnet. You're going to be like, Tracy. All my 30-something-year-olds, 40-something-year-olds, guarantee they're going to have problems with their parents. I don't know what that is because I had problems with my mom. So what is that? Except that I think I've learned to look and recognize the pain that comes with that. And I've turned it around, not to make it like, well, my mother did it to me. My father, not my father. My mother did it to me. My family did this to me. And so I'm going to make sure my son's life is miserable. Right? I knew that my family was crazy, batshit crazy. And I spent the whole time. I have a cousin to this day that she watches my videos periodically. And she goes, where is this personality from? I was like, what are you talking about? This is my personality. And she goes, Tracey, you never said 2 words when you were growing up. Not 2 words. And I'd be like, woman, you can't say 2 words when you live in a family full of crazy women. Like, I don't know what kind of family y'all have. Mine is crazy, beyond belief. You can't say anything. She goes, every time I saw you, you were mute. Right. I was observing these women. I was like this the whole time, years. 25, still mute. I'm like this. While they argue, got drunk, physically fought, you don't know. You don't know. And I'd be like, and then somebody will come to me because I'm in the center of everything. The one thing I will do, I will sit in that kitchen and observe, and then they would come because other people would come in because it's a long story. And there'd be a full-blown argument, women cussing each other out. I mean, saying ugly shit, ugly. Oh my God, these are sisters, right? And they would come to me and they'd be like, what happened? I was like, girl, so my mother said this, and your mother went off. They're so busy hating each other. They don't even see that I'm breaking it down for the family. They'd be like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah. And then we would start talking amongst ourselves what we know about this particular argument. Mm-hmm. Crazy ass family. So you couldn't do anything but just observe. And she's like, who is that personality on YouTube? And I was like, the personality is them. That person lives inside of me. The DNA exists. So I just channel it, appropriately, right? I didn't take it and cuss out my sister, who she and I don't get along, but I never cussed her out, ever. So I'm like, So family secrets. The best thing that it's a generational curse. Thank you. The curse needs to be broken. Thank you. Oh, see, you guys understand. So come join me tomorrow, Tracey After Dark. Did you know that the best way to break a family curse is to talk about it? That's how you break these secrets. When I dissect all the secrets in my family, it's only because the secrets live because you go, I heard something, Mom. What happened? And then they would be like, child, please. We ain't talking about it. We're not talking about what? Because you know what I heard, and I would tell her. What I heard was bad. And I was like, we're not talking about it? Nope. And they meant it. They all died with their secrets and left a family full of people that don't like each other. They abandoned us. They got to die. And left us not liking each other. That's sad. That's sad. They didn't know how to fix themselves. They did not care to fix their children. They did not care to fix the legacy that they were leaving behind. They didn't even understand the act of legacy, the act of kindness, the act of powerful, supportive words. Yeah. Sound vibration breaks it up. I'll look for something. And we're not our mother's generation, right? You and I know about generational curses. I have to forgive them for responding the way that they respond, because I can tell you that my mother and her sister responded the way her mother trained them up. And at some point, my grandmother didn't even have her children. They wound up being raised by their grandmother. And when a grandmother raises you, she's tired. She just wants to make sure you're safe. She's not trying to give you mental and moral stuff. Tanisha Johnson, I decided to create a new generational blessing. And boy, the way you worded that is gorgeous. With my family by facing issues in the past. Yes. Yeah, like the secrets is like they're cross to bear. Even my brother just found his mother. He's always been adopted. There's never a secret in the family. And there's secrets on how they kept him. Ugh, I don't even talk about that. I'm telling you, these people are my own mother, right? To keep the boy that you adopted from his original mother, but you met his mother and never told us all kinds of stories, left that little piece out. He finds his mother through DNA, ancestry DNA. He finds his mom during the COVID. So that was his COVID experience. He found his mom. And she goes to tell him the story. And it was like, it's hurtful. And Mark is like, Mom met my mother. And I was like, what are you talking? I was so hurt. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, Tracy, the social worker and my mother, meaning my mom, went to visit his mom at her job and intimidated her. Intimidated her to give up her child. And she said, the way they made it sound, it was the best thing for you. And that I can say is true. I don't know what conversation my mother had with that woman. The one person that was never a victim in my family was my brother Mark. She protected him through and through. So there must have been some commitment and conversation that they had together, because my mother always made sure that boy was safe and free of any generational curse that existed in my family. He was always safe. So that, I have to give her credit, but I'm like, you also didn't have to adopt him. Because for years, back in the day, he searched for his mom, but everything was redacted. And then finally, New York City passed a law that said all adoption papers, information is open. And then COVID hit and the court shut down. He was just about to go down to the courthouse and COVID shuts the courts down. So he waited, but he did the ancestry DNA prior to this, to COVID. And slowly but surely, he paid for the full $59 a month information. And slowly but surely, his cousins started showing up, and he started contacting him. He's like, I'm adopted, yada, yada, yada. One of the cousins were like, I know your mom, but let me tell my mom that you showing up. And he met his mom during the COVID, and that was his COVID experience. Yeah, like you could be, I was mad at my mom from hearing this story, but when I rehearse how my brother was raised, no one ever touched that boy. She protected him. So now I think there must have been, because I could see my mom doing that, where she's like, I promise you he'll be safe. And she kept that. You know, you got to give credit where credit's due, even though I was shocked when my brother heard me. I was like, oh my God. All right. Right? You know, I did Ancestry too, and people keep contacting me. They're like, you're my cousin. And I was like, oh my God. From where? From how? Because there's a lost history in my family. So when people show up, I'm like, how? How are we related? Because my grandfather was, he changed his name. My grandfather supposedly raped a white woman. I say supposedly because back in the day, you can't get accused of all of this shit. But in hindsight, I think he did rape this woman. I'm like, things that I know about my grandpa, I think he raped this woman, right? So he runs away from the South. Turns out he changes his name, lived a life criminal free. The rest of his life was criminal free. I can't prove whether or not he did this or was he accused, like Emmett Till. I don't know, right? And so he worked for Con Edison, retired from Con Edison, like straight and narrow life from that point on, right? What was the point to the story? I don't know. Grandpa. As a point to Grandpa, but so he changed his name to, there was the president at the time, Theodore Roosevelt. No. Franklin. No, I can't remember. Was it Franklin or Theodore? No, Theodore Roosevelt was the president at the time, I think. Or Franklin Roosevelt. I don't remember. I think it was Franklin Roosevelt. So he named himself Roosevelt after the president and gave his last name the color of his skin. That's how I got Brown. Brown is not my real name. And when it was time to put something down on the application, he just looked at the color of his skin and was like Roosevelt Brown. Because back in the day, there was no such thing as IDs and stuff. Like, what's your name? This is my name. And the census would be carried by what you said, right? Oh, I love that. AB goes, a lot of people changed names back then because it was easy, both men and women, and claimed benefits too. I believe you. And there was no tracking mechanism like we have today, right? And so, hence, Brown sticks around, of course. And then one day, my dad, he's in California with me visiting, and he goes, I got something to tell you. I didn't understand. I should have listened. He goes, I got something to tell you. And I was like, okay, Dad, what is it? Because, you know, I knew it was family secrets. And he said, your name is not Brown. It's Dry. And I was like, Dry? What are you talking about? And then he explained the whole Roosevelt Brown, the rape, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm telling the same story at my son's first wedding. And his father is listening to the story. And he looks at me and he goes, Tracy, my mother's maiden name is Dry. And I looked at him and I said, we are never going to discuss this ever again. Never. Never. I probably married my own cousin. My son is probably my cousin. Secrets. Damn you people. The secrets. Not my fault. Y'all kept the secrets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My mother did that too. She changed my adopted brother's age to get him into school early. He was born in January. She was a housewife. Wait another year, because back in the day you had to wait a full year. Nope. She put him in school early, and he wasn't ready. That's why so many people wind up with cousins. When he said that to me, we're already divorced. My son is getting married. And I looked at him and I said, yeah, we're never going to discuss this ever again. Stop. I don't want to know. At this stage of the game, you people are going to make me vomit. What? Your mom's maiden name is Dry? That's such an odd name, and I do believe it was spelled D-R-Y-E. What? Oh my God. Ooh, they're telling this. My husband's great-great-grandma was Roosevelt's personal maid and traveled with him. This is Jess Lahi. And then she goes, she had to taste every meal he had to make sure no one poisoned him. People were trying to poison him? Oh, there's some dirty secrets. Oh my God. Angel, have you ever done a ancestry DNA test? Where are your people from? Where are your people from? Because it turns out this story that was told, we all came from the same area. So I really wasn't surprised. It wasn't that shocking to me. I was like, ugh, Jesus Christ. I do remember something like that. I do remember that Roosevelt married his cousin. Yeah, I do remember something like that. North Carolina. That's where we're all from. My ex-husband's mom was from North Carolina. Our family tree begins in North Carolina. What the fuck went on in North Carolina, people? I think we're all related. You're a Dry? Oh, that is so fascinating. Contact me. Let's stay in touch. Wow. Yeah. Fuquay, North Carolina is where our family tree begins. And we have record. We kept the family tree record. And we have a family reunion every 2 years before the COVID. And all the elders on my side of the family, they're all dead. We have done readings. Oh, okay. But it doesn't mean I know you through your YouTube name. YouTube names. But text me then. Text me. Because I'll just put you in my phone as cousin until we find out it ain't true. Yes, the Geechee people are in North Carolina. I'm not a Geechee. I wish I were, because they are some special, magical people, the Geechees. I do not believe, I should say it this way, I do not believe I'm a Geechee because of my family tree. So we never wound up on a Geechee Island. But we did come from Fuquay, North Carolina, and it's next to Sanders or something like that. And at some point, Fuquay and Sanders became one town because the towns were so small. And they used to say you can drive right by Fuquay and you wouldn't even know you drove past it. It's one of those type of towns. You're a Geechee as well on your dad's side? I'm so jealous. Oh, So jealous. Well, so hence the story. Maybe I am Geechee, but I don't know because I only have the family history on my grandmother's side. My father's side changed his name. So, trying to figure that out. And so I always have people contacting me on Ancestry, and they always go, "We're cousins." And I'm like, okay, I believe you, but I've got lost history. So I'm always trying to find out if we're cousins through my granddad's side. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something about the North Carolinas, not the South Carolinas, the North Carolinas. I don't know what kind of slave shit they were involved in, but it seems to be a lot of intermingling out there. I think, you know, I think, that slave system really taught us to intermingle, if you know what I mean. That slave stuff. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, child. And then I come out here, I always thought my grandfather was Puerto Rican, which I can't confirm because he always looks like a Taino Indian, and that's what we were told, that he has Aquak and Taino in him, which I believe because he always claims he was from Puerto Rico, which he was. I'm not sure if his mother was Puerto Rico because I'm finding on this island, you either Caribbean from any island in St. Croix, you are Caribbean from any island. Every island lives on, every islander in the row of islands, except I never hear people say they're from Haiti here, ever. I don't know why that is, because it's safer to come here. So I don't know why they insist upon going to Florida, because it would have been better coming here. I never hear Haitian, and I never hear, I can say something else. Haitian and I never hear Bahamas. I never hear Barbados, where they migrated here. But every other Caribbean island it easily lands here for all different types of agricultural, sugarcane reasons, right? And they took them all in. If you were chocolate, no one cared, right? Um, in any case, I was going to say something. Oh, so then my DNA showed up again. Like Ancestry was like, "Oh, we got new information." And so I was looking at, and I kept hearing spirits say, "Look at your grandfather." And I was, but I always knew him to be Puerto Rican. And so I looked where it says he lived in Puerto Rico in 1917. So I was like, okay, I know him to be Puerto Rican. So what am I looking at? And I could hear spirit say, "Look at your grandfather." I was like, oh my God, spirit, I'm trying. Clear as day, clear as day. Above the part that I wanted to see that he was Puerto Rican, it said born on St. Croix in 1907. This is my original hometown, and I came here by accident because I was trying to get to St. Thomas, where my grandmother was born. I was trying to get to her homeland. Turns out my grandfather's homeland is here. Islands hop from shore to shore. I have a grandmother from Cuba. Absolutely. Absolutely. You could be Geechee. I could be. Child, don't let me find out I'm Geechee. Don't do it, Angel. I love the Geechees. Like, I'm jealous that I'm not a Geechee. You let me find out I'm Geechee. Because the Geechees were magical. Magical. They did not forget their African culture. Don't let me find out I'm Geechee. The whole world will open up for me if I find out I'm Geechee. All right. All right. Geechee people have connections with the Caribbean. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Y- You know, it's because, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know history that well, but it just depends who who took them, right? It just depends. The French took the Africans to the Caribbean. The Americans took them to the U.S. But then there's that Louisiana Purchase that belonged to the French. So there is a absolute Caribbean connection, but I don't necessarily know what is that. But Louisianans have a Caribbean connection. We all eat the same food. We all spicy rice. Like, nope, nope. And we don't necessarily eat, Louisianans don't eat the same as the other Southern people because they have this French flair from that part of Africa that they took them. So all of those people went to Africa, cook a certain type of way. They stopped in Louisiana and dropped some of them off there, and that's how the same food occurs. Hi, Charlotte. Right? Angel knows. She goes, I agree. It depends on who took them. Yeah. So there just might have been a ship that couldn't make it to the Caribbean. Like, again, we don't know history. And stopped off in North Carolina and was like, let me bargain and trade with you since we had to stop to refuel or something, right? You don't know. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The funny thing is that Louisiana people don't know their history. Forgive me if you do, but Louisiana people don't understand that they have Haitian in them. The whole Caribbean resides inside of them from a common place in Africa. So it's just a certain group in Africa that cooked a certain type of way. And it carried in Louisiana and stayed. One thing about food, food stays. And the same thing happened in the Caribbean. That way, when I eat Louisiana food, it feels like home to me. When Louisianans talk, they talk like Haitians. What? Which, by the way, is where my people wound up. My people wound up in Haiti and then migrated to St. Thomas. My grandmother was born in St. Thomas, much like my grandfather, born in St. Croix, but I believe originally he's from Puerto Rico, but I have to then research what and where his mother did. Like, was she from Puerto Rico, came here, it's very common to migrate to different islands, and then ultimately went back to Puerto Rico. None of that surprises me, Christy. 31% French, 14% Spanish. It just depends upon what boat was there at the time. Have mercy. And the Louisianans, they are mixed. We know the coloring. They are mixed, mixed, mixed. So the French must have loved the Africans because Louisiana is mixed. I don't think some of them women got off that boat. I believe they got on pregnant, got off. I mean, I believe they got on not pregnant, got off pregnant. Because now the one group okay. I don't like the French. Mm-mm. Nope. Louisianans are too mixed. For the French had not played games with those women. Nope. They must have been brutalized. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't like it. I don't like the French. I know there's this French pride, and I hear you. But for y'all to be as mixed as y'all are, that was rape, 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 constant, constant, brutal rape. Think about it. Bastards. Oh, child. All right. I agree with you. Commercially marketed, Louisiana appears a certain way, but a lot of us know more than we say. There you go. Oh yeah, no, the dishes are completely the same. The only difference with the land is what the meat was, right? Like crawfish is the land, is the fish of the land. So they incorporate whatever the land offered, which is why they got these great crawfish dishes. But the regular food, Caribbean food. Yep. Yoruba culture, Louisiana Creole. French. Gotta add French. Yep. Mom black, dad white. Not, you Louisiana girl, I know. Girl, please. Uh-uh. Yep, my last name is French and I'm from New Orleans. Doesn't surprise me. I'm sure they must, like, I don't know Louisiana. It's the one history I'm not. I just know about the Louisiana Purchase. But they must have had French slave owners. Y'all tell me what went on in Louisiana. They must have. And it's the one place, which I'm so proud of Louisianans and Haitians, it's the one place where magic stayed. And the only way you were going to survive that community was to do your magic. So, and them slave owners knew. They tried to beat the magic out of us. But them slave owners knew they were never going to survive. Not as long as we kept telling the stories. And that's why Louisiana has a big magical history. What survived in Louisiana is the dark magic. There are things buried on the lands of Louisiana, and half the times it's the head of the slave owners. Yep. Louisianans got stories now. Plus, we survived. When I say we, I mean Black people. We survived better in land that was similar to Africa. Louisiana was similar to Africa, the weather. And the whole Caribbean was similar to Africa. So they just landed us in a climate that we were familiar with. Those in North Carolina now, brutal cold, brutal. And you get that cold, you'll promise, and you'll give away your first child. Brutal, in any case. What you say, Angel? When I talked to my Geechee family, other Geechee people, I came to the conclusion that they are African, Caribbean, and indigenous mix going when it comes to the Geechee culture. Absolutely. Don't let me find out I'm Geechee. Girl, that would just make my whole day. I loved finding out that I was Haitian because that was a secret, right? When my great grandmother or her mother, not sure of the generation, migrated to St. Thomas, they kept quiet. So they couldn't afford to tell people that they were from Haiti because Haiti won the war. And that means Haiti had secrets to share with other Caribbean islands. And so they kept it hush. I was grown ass when I found out we were from Haiti. And I loved knowing that information. Haiti's an amazing warrior group of people. I mean, amazing. And to this day, the reason why they do not support Haiti is because we won the war. And that is generational. Not a president will support Haiti, not even Biden. They won't do it. That's the white man's revenge on us. And we won the war against the French. But the Americans saw the power, and they do not support Haiti. They don't support Haiti as a powerful nation, and they do not support Cuba for the same reasons. And Castro said, fuck you all. We'll survive regardless. And so Castro's infrastructure has stayed the same because he refused to depend upon American dollars. Because you don't get to come and change up our cultural history. Yeah. Yeah, we got to go back and learn this stuff. We got to go back. Got to go back in time. Got to invest in your Yoruba culture. You got to realize how amazing your people are, your culture, where you come from, why you act the way you do, how you survive, and all kinds of modern day diversity. This black skin, we don't play. Not this black skin? Nope. We are meant to survive. And let me tell you something, when you know God, slavery was never an accident. Ever. Slavery was designed to disperse us. Without slavery, they probably would have found a way to kill Africans as a totality. I promise you. You got to ask God, what's the reason? And you have to trust him. You have to trust him. There's a reason. And it's only now that we rise. Only now that we're not taking not a shit from a Karen. Only now, with the influence of, Facebook and IG and TikTok, that we're coming back to our magical cultures. I'm proud to be a psychic. It is the one thing that gives me life. And now through Priestess Ifasheye, I'm learning about my Yoruba deities. It feeds my soul to understand the gods, the deities that were my people, my history. The Greeks get to have their people. The Romans have their people. Even had the nerve to name planets and stars after their deities, but forgetting ours was designed. Get your history back. When you understand these deities and you figure out which one you're attached to, your soul awakens. Yep. My soul awakened when I became a psychic and had to fight all these religious people that didn't even understand that religion, your religion, the American religion, was meant to enslave you. The Caribbean religion was meant to enslave you. Was given to you to give you fear. And that's not Yoruba culture. Their religion empowers you. So we got to go back and get some culture, get fed. I once said something, I don't know, it was during the Black uprising with George Floyd and all that stuff, right? And people were talking on Twitter, and somebody said something, and I said to this dude, I was like, shut it down, or else I'll send CHANGO over to you, right? And I meant it, right? You don't know the power I have in me. You don't know the power. Y'all have seen it. When I put CHANGO on something, them chains get broken, right? And I threatened him, right? And somebody else said, what the fuck is CHANGO? And the guy looked it up, and he comes back and he answers some disgusting character. And I was like, oh, you're disgusted by it? Good. Be disgusted. That man left that feed. He left the feed. Yeah. Yeah. I ain't crazy. I said what I said. If I tell you I'm going to put a deity on something for the greater good of all, no, you don't get to be Twitter assholes. Hi, Mr. George. You don't get to be Twitter assholes, and you get to live. Nope. Nope. Came right back at them. Boom, boom, boom. And they were like, I'm like, yeah, play with me. And the funny thing is, I never need to know what happened. I could care less. Play with me. I will go on with my life. You will carry the demons of your words. Oh, child. Yes, Tanisha, we are miraculous. We are magical and universal because of our ancestors. This brown skin carries so much history. We are the original people. Everything came through Africa. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. Even the Jews are from Africa, but then they switched the lining of the, now they're from Asia. Fuck out of here. We're talking about originally. Fuck out of here. Nobody wants to be from Africa. Shame on you. Jesus was black. I know that hurt some people. I'll get a lot of people unsubscribing to me now. I'll lose at least 5 people today. Bye. Fuck out of here. Jesus was black. No kidding. Not a joke. People. Fuck out of here. Moses was black. I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feelings. Fuck out of here. Go. Bye. Bye. We're about to talk in secrets and codes anyway. And if you want to leave, bye. Bye. You don't need to be a part of this historical language that we're going to talk anyway. Leave. I get people leaving me every day. Bye. I know my language hurts. But my people have been hurt for generations. So no, I'm not going to keep quiet to save your ass, Karen. Bye. Mm-hmm. Tanisha's like, let him know. Let him know. I told him. Bye. Because we're about to have real conversations in a minute. So, you want to leave? Bye, sweetie. Don't let the door hit you. If you can't accept, the Yoruba culture and the deities that come through Yoruba culture, that's too much for you to handle. Bye. Bye. Because we're about to step it up. Y'all already stepping it up. I see y'all. Y'all already like, oh, the black culture. Oh, child. You don't know. There's information you don't know. There's a reason why black women make products. There's a reason for it. It's what we do in Africa. It's all we've ever done in Africa. But you got to take high priestess classes to know what I'm talking about. I'm not telling you. Nope. You got to get your education now. And that is, it takes you nothing from God. takes you nothing from Jesus. Jesus is my ascended master. I will never give him up. Never. It's not a choice. He's incorporated in my skin. My soul feeds from Jesus. But I have a whole lost history you want me to forget and just take on your cultural lies? Your religious lies? Hell fucking no. No. Jesus is coming with me as I learn Yoruba culture, Yoruba tradition. Jesus is coming with me. Jesus is the one that said, you're missing something. I'll be like, what? What? And then it showed up. But in my research, unfortunately, that means the books, the YouTube, people aren't getting the right information. I'm warning you, people are not getting the right information. You're not getting the right information about OSHUN. You're not getting the right information about ELEGBA, whatever you call him. He has different names. You're not getting the right information. And High Priestess Ifa breaks it down and made me proud because I love ELEGBA. And you're supposed to be fearful of ELEGBA. ELEGBA, you have to go to him to go to the other Orishas. Like, shut the fuck up. You people don't know what you're talking about half the time. These are my black people trying to explain. And I'm listening, I'm doing my research, and I'll be like, that doesn't make sense. I feel so connected to ELEGBA, and I don't understand why he's the last person I'm supposed to go to. Ifa breaks it down to the point where you're like, oh my God, I'm so relieved. I always knew. I got so much to learn. Oh, girl, I know. Obama gets a lot of credit for opening up travel. But then I found out the minute he was out, they shut that shit down. I didn't even know they had shut it down. I don't care. Cubans have a problem with being Cubans. In Florida, they want to be white. So what can you do? Stop. I don't care. I can't. I got one thing to care about, and that's my black skin. That's the only thing I'm going to care about right now. And my Yoruba education. Cubans can do whatever the fuck they want in Miami. I don't care. It's okay. Whatever they want to be, I'm supporting you. I'm not gonna try and change you. Whatever. But the truth will always get revealed. Oh, the Ethiopians. They're the original Jews. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. And the Jewish people, to this day, try to annihilate Europeans. To this day. They do not like Ethiopians. To this day, because they know. They know. Florida is an island on its own. Florida tickles me black. Every time I hear something from Florida, I'm like, it's Florida, right? Yeah. Between Florida and Texas. Ooh, child. All right. We stayed an hour and 19 minutes. I didn't even do my job. I'll double up on my job tomorrow. I'll do yesterday's CNN and today's CNN. So I hope nothing too crazy happened. Well, when you say ancient ancestors, I don't know what you mean by that. Are you talking about Jesus and Moses? Like, you have to expand more. And yes, because it serves their hidden agenda and lightening them up. Everybody says that. Do you see how graphic I am? What channel is going to pick me up? You see how graphic I am? I talk about white people to their face. What channel's going to pick me up? No. You know, I used to work out at a Green Man store, and all the psychics gave classes. And I said to God, God, I want to give classes. And God said no. And I was like, all right, God. A year goes by, everybody's giving classes, and they're talking about what amazing, turnout they had. And I said, God, I was the only black one there, by the way, and the only Christian, so understand that. I said, God, I want to give classes. And God was like, no. Another year goes by, because I was there for like 7 years. Another year goes by, and I was like, God, come on. I want to give classes. And God said, you will be giving classes to the world. I was like, what? What? Hiya. Here I am talking to the world. God is no joke. And remember, I always said I wanted to be on TV. I never said I wanted to have a TV show. I said I want to be on TV. And most people cast me on their TV. So I get my wishes. I got my wish. I never said I wanted a TV show. I used to tell God I want to be on TV. And God's like, oh, it'll happen. Everyone cast me on their living room TV. It's hilarious. Oh, it would have to be HBO After Dark. Okay. Papa ELEGBA he has all these nicknames. I call him ELEGBA. But he has, I think, in Yoruba culture, let me see, because I wrote it down, because I took classes with High Priestess Ifasheye, who I love, by the way. I love that she's walked into my life. Every time I think of it, I want to cry, but I know that she was sent by God. No, she talked about ELEGBA early on. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Do you like my book? This is my Yoruba training book. There's so much to learn, though. And I have a hard time retaining information. I believe she calls Yoruba, not she. I believe they call him Esu. Esu. Odara. Esu. That's ELEGBA. I believe it's Esu. Now I have to ask her. Let me make sure. Yeah, I believe it's Esu. Do you guys know him as Esu? Does anybody know him as Esu? I took her class twice. The second time I listened more than I did take notes. Esu. Esu's ELEGBA. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Esu. So he has all these different names depending upon the location that you come from. I do. You know him. Yes. He corrects the wrongs. Yes. And he is a trickster. But he's only a trickster when you're not doing right. You don't do right, ELEGBA will show up. And he will give you an option to do right. It's your choice. Eshu. Well, in thank you. Again, different spelling, same. In Yoruba, from the training that I got, they spell it ESU, but Same thing. Same thing. Eshu, Eshu. Same pronunciation, etc., etc. And it is ELEGBA that most of us know him as. Oh my God. These poor kids, they getting a very strong education in cursing. That's the only thing the kids are getting from me. Y'all just teaching these kids how to curse. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what Ezra learned from me. He learned how to curse. Even though he used to tell me, stop cursing. Stop cursing, Dory. I'm like, how the fuck you know about cursing, Ezra? How you gonna tell me not to stop cursing? And then he was 3. Don't curse, Dory. I think he was trying to save my soul. Now the poor kid curses. Oh, man. I'm just corruptible. Oh my God. All right, guys. We stayed talking, joking, laughing, got on Black culture because of Angel, got on a whole blackness thing. And let's end it nicely. God is good. And we as Black people, we know how to survive, honey. We are resourceful as heck. And in the coming months, as the earth elevates, right? The earth is elevating right now, and people are feeling it. That's why the Karens are going crazy. And the Kevins are going, like, they know there's diminishment in their culture, and it's driving them crazy. So the best that they can do is to scream and yell and try and stop it, but you can't stop the elevation. And we were made for the elevation. So time to get your souls right, people. Time to get your souls right. Again, let's talk about family curses. Friday at 9 p.m. Tracy After Dark. Let's talk. Let's purge. All right? It's on Blog Talk Radio, so I'll give you the phone number. I'll give you YouTube too. And then I brought a new Bluetooth that I hope you all can hear better with. Please work. Please work for what I need you for. All right. I love you. Gotta go. Bye. Thank you. You guys bring me life. I hope I brought you life.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.